Yeah, this is Mr. Criminal, another criminal, my soundtrack. Gang bank survivors, I say. Always on the West Coast. Check shit out. Always on the West Coast. 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 Always on the West Coast, 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 almost on the West Side when it's fucking time to ride. What you fools know about it, represent life. Much love for it when it's time to ride, yeah. And let these fools know about it when it's time to ride, representing for a life. What you fools know about West Coast, 229 Pine Matter, let's say, representing for a life. Fools just don't understand. This is for my gang, thanks spouse, representing for a life. Always on the West Coast. 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 I'm on the West Side, dropping this shit. Let the fools know. They said that I just can never stop. They say representing for life and representing for my West Coast. So just wait from, yeah, well, so my students out representing for life. Packing up the strap, just don't give a shit what they say. Just gotta say, let's get the game banging shade on. Represent the West until I rep for the South. I could care less about what these fools gotta say. If they wanna talk shit, man, don't fucking talk shit. They can just never stop us as I ride to my last breath. Let these motherfuckers know I'm always on the West Coast. Always on the West Coast. Always on the West Coast. Always on the West Coast, 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 West Side, South Side, 229. What you fools know about it, represent for life. Just don't give a shit about it, say this gotta say. Essay, straight up putting work and representing. Yeah, I'm from the West Side of 229, Fort Line Streets. What you fools know about it, represent for life. South Side 229, motherfuckers don't know. Don't disrespect their recordings like where we're coming from. Not give a fuck out about. When I represent that West, I represent it till I die. Not give a fuck about. And then niggas stick them 6 feet deep in the motherfucking ground. If they should have run up, get smacked up, send you back to where you came from. Not give a fuck out already, right? Representing always on the fucking West Coast, South Side till I die. These fools know what's up. Game bank survivors, it's always on the West Coast. 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 Always on the West Coast, 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 yeah. Mr. Motherfucking Criminal, always on the West Coast. Represent the South Side, that's against your shit, now give it a fuck. Essay, these fools saying that it's just never stop me. Essay, when it's time to ride, it's fools know what's up. Essay, when it's time to ride, represent that West Coast, wicked West Side. Essay, what you fools know about it, represent for life. I'll die for it. Essay, to the die, yeah, always on the West Coast. 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 Yeah. Mr. Motherfucking Criminal. Gang bank survivors always on the West Coast.